Hey everybody, Dave here, back in the garage with the Q5, and as promised, we've got the lower ball joint. Time to install this, so let's get to it. Okay, so here we are. Step one, get the car up in the air, safely on jack stands. I got the wheel off. I've got the steering wheel cranked all the way to the right, so we have pretty good view of this ball joint that we need to replace. Alright, we got pretty good access to it here from this angle. I'm going to be replacing the front lower forward outer ball joint. Now, that's a whole lot of words there, but it's basically this ball joint right here. This is the front control arm. We got two control arms. The rear one is bent. The forward one is straight. It's got the shock mounted to it. And this is the ball joint. This is what it looks like. So it's got a nut on the top of it. And it's clamped into the spindle through this bolt. So we're going to spin the nut off the top. We have to break it free with a fork or something, and then loosen this bolt, and hopefully we can just pop it out, pop the new one in, clamp it in with the bolt, put it through the control arm, and sock down the nut. Sounds pretty cut and dry. So I think first things first is I'm going to take this upper nut off. Alright, here we are. This is a 13/16 nut. Get a box wrench on it, see if we can't crack it loose. Wasn't very hard, and probably not going to spin on me because it's been wedged in here and it is tight. So I don't have to worry about this ball joint spinning on me when I loosen this. Okay, there we are. Step one. Okay, next step, got a little helper going here. This is Oliver, but the next step is we need to break this ball joint. It's got this taper that's wedged in there, so we need to break it free. We got this little device, but this is not going to work. I can't really reach up to the top, so that's not going to work. What I'm going to use instead is just a fork. And I got the right size fork that fits nice and snug. So I am going to just take the flat end facing up, and I'm just going to drive it in there with a hammer. And hopefully that'll break free. So let's try that. So let's see if this fork's going to work. Keep it going. Alright, so I got this wedged in here nice and tight. It's putting a lot of pressure on this joint. It's not coming out. I don't know if this fork is bumping into something over there, so I'm just going to hammer on the control arm a little bit to see if I can break it free. And I'm just going to use my air hammer. Swings with the hammer. And there it is. If I can get the fork off. Alright, took a little pry bar and I pried that fork off of there. Not too bad. And next thing is we're going to take this bolt, this 5/8 inch bolt, off. I'm going to just use hand tools right now because I don't want to zing this thing off and have it snap or break. You really can't feel how things are coming apart with an impact. But, I mean, this is one reason why I like working on German cars. I mean, this stuff, this is 12 years old, 170K. And nothing's rusty. There's no rust on the ground. This bolt is coming out no problem. You know, I have a Ford pickup truck where everything I touch snaps off from rust. Come on. Alright, so there's that bolt. It's in great shape. I'm going to reuse that. No problem. Alright, so I got the ball joint broken free from the control arm. I got this bolt out. I'm going to see if I can't push this thing right up to the bottom. Just like that. I think I'm going to put a floor jack in. I'm going to lift up on this control arm to give me some space to get that out of there, hopefully. Alright, so I got a jack under the control arm. Let me lift it up, see if I can't free up some space. Come on out. Come on. This might be the trickiest part here. Let's see if we can't get this thing out of here somehow. Alright. I'm going to have to go to plan B. I might have to take the steering knuckle off. And that might free up some motion to swing this thing out of the way. Alright, let me take this off. Alright, to separate this, I'm going to use this tool. See if I can't get this on here. Okay, we got this tool in place. Let's see if we can just separate this thing. Woo! There you go. Alright, so that's separated. Alright, I'm going to lower this jack now. There we go. Now we get this out of the way, and let's see if that gives us any more room. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Here's the old shot ball joint. Okay, now comes the time to install the new ball joint, which this could be tricky as well. I'm not out of the woods yet. Okay, we're getting there. I'm sure that's not going to slide right into that bottom of the spindle, but we will get it in there at some point. Alright, let's see if we can get this started. I've got the steering rod hanging up here with a wire so it doesn't clunk me in the head. Let's see if we can't get this thing. Oh. Alright, so it's started in there, but I'm sure it's probably not straight. It's going to have to be kind of straight to get in there. It just slipped right into place now. I think I got this thing spread so far now, and I got it squared and straight. And I don't think I damaged the boot at all. And it just slipped into place after I spread it quite a bit with this chisel. Alright, I don't see any damage here. I think we're good. Put that bolt in. Sock the nut on the top. Put the tie rod back in. Okay, got the lower ball joint fully seated in this bottom of this spindle. I'm going to put the bolt back in. 5/8. Right, 5/8. And I think the trick is to really spread this bottom part right here that's got the opening where the bolt's going through it. I just wedged my chisel in there quite a bit, and that seemed to make plenty of room for a nice slide in once you get it straight. So if you spread it good with the chisel and get the ball joint straight, it slipped right in place. Right there, factory spec. Okay. I'm going to put the top nut on. Okay, and then the brand new top nut, which is an 18 millimeter. I'll sock this down nice and tight. So I can get my wrench in there. Here we go. There we go. Okay, now we're moving. And now we just got to put the tie rod end, reconnect that. Okay, we're coming down the home stretch. Next thing is to reconnect the steering rod. Come on. There we go. This thing will tend to want to turn on this, but if you keep the tension up, that taper will get a bite on it as soon as it falls down though. Come on. Well, it's turning now, but there's, you can stick an Allen wrench in the top of this thing. I'll do that. I'll put an Allen wrench in the top and then tighten it the rest of the way. So let's just set this Allen wrench in here. There we go. Okay, it's nice and tight. Get this wire hanger out of here. And let's step back and take a look at that job. I think we're done. Okay, we did all that work to get rid of the play that we had. Now there's no play in there at all, so there goes, my clunking is gone. It was right in there. And you know, you can see this thing. You shouldn't be able to move these things like this. So this was no good. So I think we're good. Just double check. Got the tie rod in, sock down. This bolt is socked down. And of course it can't come out because the bolt is riding through this groove right here. So as long as this bolt's in here, it's impossible for that ball joint to come out. We get the nut on the top sock down. Then just going to turn the wheel straight and put the wheel back on. And call it a day. And a couple last minute things. I put a little dent in this dust shield, so let's straighten this out so it doesn't create a problem with anything. That's all. There we go, like new. Alright, so here we are, done. Car's back on the ground, wheels on, ball joint installed. That was a good little job. Not too bad. Probably the most difficult part could possibly be installing the new ball joint into the lower part of the spindle. My suggestion would be to take a chisel and or a screwdriver, anything tapered tool, and tap it in there and spread that bottom opening, and then just get the lower ball joint. Easier said than done, but get that lower ball joint lined up straight and it will drop right in. And the rest of it is just, bolting things back together. So I hope you enjoyed that. If so, please subscribe to the channel. And until next time, thanks for watching.